Vanderbilt, and north and south would be Martin Luther King and West Florissant. So that's a pretty big rectangle, but it is a rectangle. So it's not like everything is all over. We have no idea where most of the violent crime is. That's not true. So we have an idea. So what I decided to do is take our supplemental resources and dump them in that area. When I say supplemental, there's special ops, anti-crime units, mobile reserve SWAT, community engagement. That's where our gang officers are, and they'll do a lot of intervention over there. And then community engagement, it has two aspects. One is gang intervention, and the other one is just community-oriented policing. A lot of contacts with neighbors and schools and organizations. So I'm going to dump those supplemental resources into that rectangle. And what the certainty is I have is that in all probability that's going to have some impact on violent crime. It does. You're right. It's not a guarantee. It's just I'm going to put it where the likelihood of the contacts will make the most difference. Now, let's take a step back. When we first went to 6 districts, that decision was based on calls for service, so strictly calls for service. But it was not a lot of consideration taken into the types of calls for service. And so from that, what you end up having is officers in those 2 districts doing a lot more heavy lifting, if you will. A lot of the violent crime, the time that it takes, for example, to do an assault first scene, a shooting scene, the leg work, the physical leg work, the physical leg work on homicide scenes, the physical leg work on robberies, the area canvases and that, as opposed to you had something stolen and it was gone, you left it there when you came, a burglary or something like that. Not to minimize the significance of those, but hey, what we've struggled with in St. Louis is violent crime. And so basically, I'm gonna put supplemental resources where the highest likelihood of them coming into contact with our officers and confronting that behavior. And you could spend a lot of time within that rectangle, but on places where they have open drug sales. The locations that have open drug sales are responsible for a lot of our multiple shootings. I was up on Kennedy the other night, and that had all the makings of some drug activity. There were drugs found in the car. There was a pistol that had been fired in the car, and so of course it's very difficult to protect people from themselves. But those are certainly the kind of behaviors that we're going to be monitoring as we put those resources in that rectangle.
So let me ask you this: explain to me how that plan differs from what's been happening so far. Has that been already going on?
No. Well, so we're in the infancy of actually implementing the plan. Matter of fact, I was meeting with my commanders yesterday, and so starting today, we're actually going to put, we're going to have those resources there. Schedule will include flooding that area.
Okay, so before, when you were command of that area, because that's a question you've got to face.
Sure,
I'm sure you faced it in the interview process.
Yeah,
this was your bread and butter for so long.
That is a good question. I did not have access to the resources at the time, so I talked about it a lot, but in order for me to do something about what I was observing, I had to get permission. And all I'm saying is that I did not have the latitude that I have now to really make the impact that I believe I'll be able to make.